Hi, I'm Frank Bell. About 30 years ago, I had an accident and decided if I was going to get on a horse ever again, that I would create a system on the ground that promoted my safety dramatically. And that's what I've done, and I got a career out of it, traveled all over the world, and have thousands of people that use my 7-step safety system. So I'm going to introduce myself to Courtney Dunn's horse, Rain, a 4-year-old filly, and see what I can get done. And I'll go over the steps as I move along. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I haven't done anything to this horse. This is a brand new horse to me. And I always start with just loving on the horse, trying to make a great first impression. So I'll start in the neck area a little bit, stroke her. And I've always found that if I can get my hands on a horse's face, this is Linda Tellington Jones stuff, that I can generally, by rubbing their eyes, and getting inside their nose a little bit, getting inside the corner of their mouth, underneath the jaw. I'm looking for the place where I can indulge the horse and turn the horse into butter. A lot of horses have little secret spots, and you just have to kind of search around. I call it search touching. And some horses even like the inside of their ear. There we go.
She does.
There it is. Woo! So it's the inside of the ear, and I've got a friend now. But it could have been the eyes, it could have been the ears, could have been under the jaw, could have been inside the nose. All those places you can melt a horse. And my philosophy is if I melt the horse first, if I indulge the horse, if I give to the horse first, then there's a pretty good chance that the horse might want to give back to me. And I like getting the horse comfortable with having me in the corner of the mouth. And so I think I've made a decent first impression. I'll tilt her into me a little bit and say hello and feel like we've got a little bit of a rapport. And the next thing I'm going to do is instill what I call pressure and release, because pressure and release is the basis for all training. So the horse needs to understand when there's pressure, wherever it might be, whether it's to the side. Now I'm asking for downward air, and I'll release. Okay, and up, and I'll ask her to go down again. When a horse's head is down, they're relaxed. When they're uptight, their head's way up in the air. And a lot of horses exhibit that behavior and don't have any understanding of how to yield to pressure, but this horse understands it very well. I release the second I get it. Reward for the smallest, try the slightest change, release. Now I'm going to take the nose handle right here, and I'm going to guide the horse. I'm going to position the horse a little better for you. I'm going to take the nose handle. It's conveniently right on the end of the nose here. It fits 3 fingers, and I'm going to touch the girth area and guide the horse's head into the girth area, and maybe breathe in the horse's nose a little bit. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, we'll try the other side now. So this is a very compliant horse, doing a great job. Need to talk to you right over here. Need to talk to you right over here. Need to talk to you right in here. You see, when the horse allows me to get their head in there, they're blocking the rest of the world out. If they're really uptight, that's not going to happen. So I've got bonding is first step, and I've got pressure and release. The horse understands that real well. Ask for the head to come around. The third step is what I call intimacy. Okay, now, when that head's around to the side, I'll reach back, and I'll go ahead and bump her over so the camera can catch this. Because what I'm after here, if the horse's tail is clamped down tight, you get an uptight horse. But when a horse lifts that tail up just like that, I'm feathering underneath the tail, and that tail comes up and is soft, that's a real good sign. I'm breathing the horse's nose all at the same time, and I've achieved intimacy on the right side, which is usually the side that's behind. Come over here, and we'll do the left side. Very, very nice animal. Look at that tail. Unbelievable.
That's her favorite place to be scratched.
Trust.
That's her favorite place.
That's big league trust. Yeah, you're pretty smart, aren't you? Huh? So I've just accomplished the first 3 steps of the program: bonding, take and give, and intimacy. And now the movement starts. So we call this the dance begins. This is where the movement starts. And I'm going to ask the horse to move out in front of me in what some people call lunging, driving. It's got a lot of different names, but I need the horse, I'm the leader here, and I need the horse to understand that when I ask for forward movement, I'm going to get it, and I'll quit the second I get it. Good. Real good. Got the horse moving around. Do a little drifting into the 5th step, which is desensitizing. Is that going to bother the horse? Now I'm going to take in line, hand over hand, toss the lead rope over the horse's back, and do a 1-range stop. Waiting for the head to come around nice and soft, and they never do it in front of the camera. It's the darndest thing. You need to step over. So we'll try it again here. I want the horse to stop and give me the head, just like that. Just doesn't get any better. Now the important thing, the important part about this is that the inside hind leg is stepping in front, because that's the disengagement. So watch closely as I ask the horse to go out the other way, and watch the back legs closely. As I wind the horse down, I take in line, hand over hand, focus on the hip bone, toss the lead rope over the back deliberately so it touches the back leg. So I'm getting the back leg desensitized at the same time. Soft as butter. It doesn't get any easier. You're doing very well. And I'll let her know that. I'll let her know that. I'll love her up. Okay, run the lead rope around. Back here. Now if you're doing this at home, when you ask the horse to move away from you, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the kick zone. So I'm here. I'm back here, and I can drive the horse, and my body language is saying, we're going out to the left. It could be a big steering wheel or an L, but I'm trying to use my body language to tell the horse what I want and make it easy for the horse to understand. So again, I'll wind the horse down to a stop, toss the lead rope over the horse's back, have it touch those back legs, and when I have horses that have leg issues, lots of times that gets it fixed pretty fast. So now we're drifting into the 5th step, which is desensitizing. So I want to be able to do this kind of thing and not have it be an issue. I want to be able to take my lead rope, play jump rope with the horse, and maybe toss it up over the horse's head, maybe catch an ear, see if I'm any good at this anymore, catch another ear. We've got a very, very relaxed horse, to say the least. We've got a figure 8 on the horse's head. That's a relaxed horse. But I go through this with every single horse, every single time before I ride, and I don't get in trouble. And the people that do it, that follow my system, generally don't get in much trouble. We like to say that we're taking 80 to 90% of the risk out of the ride. Now I'm going to take a flag over here and let Rain smell it first. I wouldn't just go after her with it. I want her to kind of reach for it, which she did, checking it out. And if she was really bothered about it, I'd take a plastic bag or something, I'd have it in my pocket, and I'd let her sniff that first, and I'd rub it on her body. But she's telling me that she's not bothered, and the fact that she's working her mouth a little bit is telling me that she's getting it, that she's understanding. Yeah, let's play the game. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of run it around her body, and I want to be a little careful about having it on the opposite side, because if you have a horse that's spooky, it could spook the horse into you, but this is not an issue. But standing still doesn't tell me much. I need the horse to move rationally and handle the flag. Good girl. Good girl. Very good. Now we'll ask her to go out the other way. Good girl. Play with it a little bit. Get a little more assertive with it. Make sure that's not. Well, we just found a little something, so I'll let her carry it. Easy girl. Easy girl. You're all right. See how abrupt that stop was? I want to help her with that. So I'm gonna break her mouth loose here. Wiggle my finger over her tongue. And that'll help her kind of digest what we're doing. And I'll send her off again. Then I want to see everything rational. I don't want to see abrupt starts and stops. I want her to stay very cool. Very good. And I'll play with it, come from different angles. And she's already worked through that, so that's good. I don't need to run it into the ground. I'm just planting seeds. Now I want to get out in front and see how she handles this in the front. And obviously she's real good about this, so I don't need her running into the ground. Good job. Okay, so we've worked through the first 5 steps of my program: bonding, take and give, intimacy, the dance begins, and desensitizing. And the desensitizing is about your own creativity. There's all kinds of things you can do to boost the horse's confidence. Shaking gates and guns and trailer doors and, I mean, you name it, plastic, have the horse walk on plastic. There's no end to it. We've got a horse here that's not exhibiting a lot of bad behaviors or nervous behaviors, so I'm not going to run this into the ground. But desensitizing is about using your own creativity to challenge the horse. I'm going to start the 6th step now, which is ballet on the ground. I'm going to drive the horse out, obvious body language, send her out, and I've got to have some life. For those of you that do dressage, I'm going to ask the horse to do a turn, a pivot on the forehand, face up, rock back, and go out the other way. So we're doing a turn on the forehand followed by a turn on the haunches. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting brains and feet, and that's just beautiful. We'll do this a few times. She's done this before, I can tell. But to me, this is the best exercise you can do before you ride a horse. Because you're connecting brains and feet, and you're finding out if the horse is okay, and burning off energy if you need to. Wind her down to a stop, do a 1-rein stop on the ground effectively, and she's there. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. This horse has had wonderful training. We're going to do just a little bit more ballet. She's really good. Wonderful animal. Obvious body language. You got to have life to do this. Okay, I reach over in front, kind of create a wall. It says we're not going any further, and then step over and ask her to go out the other way. So my body language is getting the job done. I'm not having to work too hard. I've done this with a few horses, so it's easy for me. Okay, reach across, get her to face up, move into her space, steps over. I'm going to ask her for a little more life. Ramp it up a little bit, reach across, and that's what we want. Turn on the forehand followed by a turn on the haunches. Reach across, face up. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I'll finish up one more time with a 1-rein stop. The whole point of my system is getting the 1-rein stop so well instilled that when you get in the saddle, it makes perfect sense to the horse. I'll reward her with a little bit of stroking in the withers. But she's basically saying to me she's ready to ride. So we'll go ahead and put a